What's up, drivers? Since my channel began, my dashcam setup has continuously improved. From its humble beginnings with cameras ranging from £20 to £50, my subscriber count grew, and with that came companies seeking reviews of their technology. Fantru saw that I'd given VIOFO the pride of place as my main front dashcam, and with their N4 they managed to dethrone VIOFO and claim the spot from their A229, and even later retained it against VIOFO's A139. But for the longest time now, VIOFO have dominated my cars and were never satisfied, always releasing newer, more impressive cameras.
You've just caught me mid-rearranging my dashcam setup. What? It's a 4K dashcam.
They've beaten themselves and lost against themselves on a few occasions in my reviews.
Disgusting!
What do you mean you're not recording? Oh, the indicators of forgiveness. And they recently came knocking once again at DCH HQ with a fire in their eyes.
You think you've seen my best? Ha! Well, feast your eyes on this! I summon the A229 Pro in attack mode!
The A229 now comes in two new forms, the Plus, which is 2K front, 2K rear and 1080p interior, and what I'm reviewing today, the A229 Pro uses Sony STARVIS 2 IMX678 sensor for the front camera and IMX675 for the rear camera, and in the box you get your quick start sheet, troubleshooting card, customer service card, user manual, two transparent window adhesives, the main 4K A229 unit with decent sized screen, tilting lens and improved GPS accuracy via the mount, your 2K rear cam, your full 1080p HD interior camera with infrared cut filter, and all three of these support high dynamic range. You also get a free polarising lens filter, extra sticky pads, trim removal tool that can double as an SD card remover, dual USB chocolate starfish tickler,
sorry children,
short USB to USB-C cable for PC, super long USB-C rear cam cable, short USB-C to 3.5mm aux interior cam cable, and of course you get your long USB to USB-C cable as well. VIOFO have also recently updated their SD card from A1 to A2. If you just so happen to be in the market for a dashcam, be sure to check out the promo codes at the top of the description. The most obvious difference between the A139 and the A229 in the daytime is the better contrast and clarity on the A139, especially regarding motion blur on licence plates of passing cars. The text appears much bolder and much sharper. Oh, think we've had a stall there. Lock the clip. Lock the clip. Lock the clip. As you can hear, I'm trying to test the voice commands on the A229. Lock the clip. We'll talk more about that later. The rear cams in the daytime, however, is a totally different story. With the A229s running at 2K as opposed to 1080, you can see license plates much easier from distance. However, capturing one clearly passing you at high speed is asking a bit much of both dashcams. For those of you wondering, yes, I did indeed stick a CPL filter to my A139's rear cam. Why, you may ask? Because I can. Briefly talking about the audio, I'm pretty certain that VIOFO uses the same microphone across a lot of their cameras, and it adapts to its own sensitivity based on what it can hear to give you the most equal levels possible on your clips. When I put my car in neutral, my iStop will temporarily shut off the engine, and when it does, you can barely hear a pin drop on the dashcam. It then keeps this audio low and readapts gradually to prevent audio peaks from sudden louder noises. Good one. In the menu of the A229, you can actually find a list of the commands that it recognises, so if you ever forget, simply pull over, have a look at it, and then because, like me, you've got ADHD, you'll forget again in about 20 minutes anyway. Ah, it's lock the video, that's why it wasn't working.
Recording. 3 channels started.
Lock the video.
Video protected.
Cool, so Yeah, it does work perfectly. The VIOFO A229 Pro doesn't have a trigger command, you know, like, hey Siri. Sorry mate, I don't actually need you.
Cleaning Out My Closet by Eminem now playing on Spotify.
Excuse me? What? I said sorry mate, I don't need you. Right, whatever. So, lock the video.
Video protected.
But if you put the whole command in the middle of a sentence, like saying turn on screen, it doesn't do it. Turn on screen. Turn off screen. Make sure you remember to turn on screen. That is amazing. The interior camera on the A229 in my opinion has an overly high default exposure, which reveals a lot more imagery in the darker areas of the car, but I have to say I highly prefer the higher saturation and sharpness of the A139 here. I feel like the A229 makes me look kind of cartoonish here, losing a fair amount of detail on my face. As is the case with a lot of my reviews, very little of interest happened during my daytime filming. This Ford ignoring the girl at the crossing, and a taxi driver opening his door slowing me down for 2 seconds was probably the highlight. If you've watched any of my reviews before, then you'll know it's hardly rare that I absolutely ball something up to some extent. The worst example of this was when I reviewed Vantru's S2, which featured a hilariously lengthy plethora of mistakes. But funnily enough, Vantru actually haven't contacted me since that review either. I made a balls up while filming this review as well, and thought it would be a fun idea to run a little contest on my Discord server to see if anyone could correctly guess exactly what I'd managed to do this time. As you can see, my community clearly thinks very highly of me, making a total of 28 incorrect guesses before finding the correct answer. That's one way of doing it. Save the video. Save the video. Save the video. Oh no. Lock the video.
Video protected.
Later that same evening.
Oh no. This whole time, the front dashcam's been fucking looking at the sky. Fuck's sake, man. At night, the lower contrast of the A229 gives the final details of the visuals a crisper look. This is easiest to see in the road markings, although it's more sensitive to being blinded compared to the A139. Oh, thank you for that. Oh, thank you for that. Finally, it's time for the thumbnail clip. Now let me preamble this, as this has happened before, by saying if this was a fan behind me simply trying to say hi, then please disregard everything I'm about to say, as I am going to assume that this driver behind me is an impatient, aggressive fucking moron. I usually receive a DM if someone spots me, but not always, so if this was a fan, and I guess this goes for everyone, if you spot me on the road and give me a flash or a beep, please do message me when you get home, as I like knowing for certain whether I've been spotted in the wild, or if someone's telling me off or warning me that I have lights out or something. By the way, I did in fact check my lights when I got home, and they were working perfectly fine, and you can even see the reflections of them on this island wobbler. As a nice little test for the improved GPS mount of the A229, let's bang in these coordinates of this petrol station so you can find it yourself on Google to get a better look at the road I was on. The tractor in front was doing a consistent 40 miles an hour, approaching a nearby 30 mile an hour zone, which I knew. I could never comfortably see far enough to overtake even if I wanted to. The road bends both ways constantly during the stretch with the occasional junction. Maybe if the tractor was doing 20 or slower, I could have happily overtaken on one of the straights, but at 40, not a chance am I risking that. And here's a question for you viewers. If the impatient car behind me wasn't comfortable with overtaking two vehicles themselves, then why were they so insistent that I be comfortable with overtaking one large vehicle? They could have overtaken both of us at any point, but instead choose to sit behind me, frothing at the mouth, trying to intimidate and dazzle me. Unfortunately, you can't make out the licence plate as my rear window takes an absolute age to demist, but for review purposes I do have another clip where it's clear later on.
Like, where do they think safe to overtake exactly? Save the... lock the video. Lock the video.
Video protected.
Yeah, and then you're coming down into a 30 now anyway. Fucking flashing their heads off, man.
The interior camera on the A229 at night is a world of difference compared to this, in comparison, rather blurry looking interior of the A139. The rear cam of the A229 at night has a duller saturation than the A139, but it seems to dampen the intensity of lights, so could be crucial in catching someone's licence plate if you needed it. If there was ever a clip to prove how much of a behemoth the A229 is at night time, it's this. Look at the difference in clarity of the licence plate on this passing car. God damn. Here's the final results. The A139 had the better front cam in daytime, and it also had the better interior cam in the daytime. But the A229 had better front, rear and interior cam at night time. The A229 introduces voice commands, the A229 is cheaper than the A139, and the A229 has a nice big screen which automatically turns off when you're driving. Whichever dashcam's the winner for you today, be sure to use my discount codes in the description when you buy. You get money off and I earn a little cut as well. But for me personally, this one's a draw. I'd say I can't really pick a winner, but for the simple fact that I do a large majority of my driving during the daytime, the A139 will be remaining as my chosen dashcam, but this was by far and away the tightest contest so far. I can't wait to see what comes next from VIOFO.